if you are an aggravated felon and re-enter the United States. Then usually our U.S. Attorney's Office will charge those individuals and deal with them along those lines. Okay. Are there any questions at this point on the two? You had said, Jacob, I'm going to introduce your stance.
Okay, question from the committee on what you just heard? Representative Stevens?
Yes, thank you. I'm looking at the difference between those numbers, between the inmates interviewed and the inmates processed. Are you saying all the inmates interviewed were non-U.S. born, but there's 506 difference? Is there some difference in why they might be?
They may have a visa card to be here. They may be here on a work visa. There's a lot of things that come into play. That would be your difference. Or they may even have a diplomatic immunity in some aspect.
Representative Carnes?
You said at some point in time when these people were processed, get an address from them, and then you mail them some document.
Right, see, what happens, they need to notify them when to be in deportation court. So there is a form, which I have here, I can show you, they're supposed to put their address and take it with them. We have there to take it with them. If they move, they fill out change of address form, and so whatever correspondence the courts or immigration has with them, they can get it.
My question was, how many of these, what's the rate of return of letters that come back as mail not deliverable because non-sufficient address?
Let me say this. I will say, and I don't know for sure, but I can tell you that we're given false addresses probably 75% of the time when they come into the detention center. And until we find out who they really are and do some investigation, that's the address we have. And I can't, that mail is handled by ICE, not by us, so I can't give you a percentage that would happen. Because like I said, once we process them and find out they're here illegally, then ICE, the rest of it is conducted by ICE.
All right, so you're getting a large percentage of the people who are giving you a false address, and the mail comes back as undeliverable. Is there a follow-up, or what is the procedure to try to locate and identify these people?
All I can tell you, if they do not show up in immigration court, then our warrant will be outstanding for their removal when they're called. And a lot of times, they will turn up in another part of the state, another part of the country, because these warrants and stuff, all this information is entered into all of our systems, the NCIC and all the systems that our state and local law enforcement use for wanted people.
Time of their arrest, they are fingerprinted and identified. It just takes a while to figure out who they really are.
Yes, sir. And usually that comes back now, before we really run into a problem, if they have never been encountered by law enforcement previously or immigration and customs, and they cross the border the first time. And you pick them up, they can tell you they've never been fingerprinted in Mexico. Hopefully, you will be fingerprinted then, and hopefully you can find something out of them. A lot of times you don't, because they've never been encountered. But once they are encountered and fingerprinted photographed, they have an A number assigned to them, a file number. You can track them the rest of their life.
Representative Fairclough?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sheriff, going back to those who are arrested and when they're presented to the magistrate, they approach bond, and you say they are not processed, they're not interviewed as far as their residency in the country. So is that a federal regulation, or is that local decision that have it that way?
Well, I have a policy, I've always had a policy as sheriff and in law enforcement. If you arrest someone, whether it be American or whoever, that does not have a proper identification on them or identification, they come to jail and until we get a proper identification on them. Now, a lot of other agencies in our county will bring them to the magistrate. And, and I can just tell you, we have magistrates there. I can tell you who's going to give a low bond, who's not. There's a standard setting that we found out from our the population there, that it's known that there's one magistrate, don't care if it's DWI, whatever, they're going to give a $300 bond. They'll have $300 in their pocket, they come in and get booked, lay $300 down under the name they want to give the magistrate, and they're gone. If they don't come into the jail for processing, we have no idea who they are. That's what scares me, because this is a national, not only a local problem in protecting our people, but a national security problem.
So that's a federal process is dictated to you.
Yes, sir, we cannot go outside that jail. Bring them in. The master's office is outside, I mean, it's in the jail, but it's outside of the detention center. Yes.
Representative Warren?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for being here today for this presentation. Do you have an average length of incarceration for that processing period? And do you have any idea what the legal cost is?
Good question. First of all, if you come in on a state charge, I don't have any control over when the DA gets that individual over to court on the state charge. But if they get them over the next day and it's disposed of, they roll over immediately into ICE custody. But I have figured what it costs Alamance County, and I think per day, per inmate, and it's around $46 and 70-some cents, I think was the last figure that I figured. So y'all getting a deal when y'all paying us 40 on this misdemeanor program. Yeah.
Okay, Representative Stevens?
I just wanted to ask, Mr. Chair, if you could just again remind everybody sitting around us, there's just a lot of murmuring, and it's very hard. This room echoes terribly. It's horrible to have a committee meeting because it echoes terribly. I just want to remind everybody, we're really trying hard to listen and understand, and their murmuring and knocking back and forth is distracting.
Okay, yes, a number of folks we have here, the murmuring does make it hard to hear up here, actually. This room is not ideally designed. We have been promised a bigger room for our next meeting, so please hold down your murmuring and any conversation so that we can hear better up here also. Hopefully you can hear us. We don't know, and we also want to hear each other. Thank you.
I may be talking too loud though.
Representative Pierce.
Just a few questions, Mr. Chairman. I've got to get on your sheet and glad to see that they're allowed to make phone calls. If you consider them to be, at what point is the phone calls? Is once that's your process or the other process?
Look, once they come in and they're processed, they're allowed to call. Because we may be releasing them, if you understand what I'm saying. But they're allowed to make phone calls. Like I say, I've got the forms here and stuff that we give them. We do have a language line that, with the phones. We also have, like I say, several of our officers that are fluent in Spanish.
Follow-up. Have you ever had any, have you ever worked with the consulate here recently in North Carolina that helped you with, you said legalities? Are you familiar with the consulate here recently?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, we received a letter, the consul was commending us on our work with them and letting them know who was in our detention facilities in consuls here in Raleigh.
Follow-up.
Mr. Sheriff Johnson,
Yes, sir.
I know you do a good job with it now. I have no reason to doubt, but you made a couple of things about the only way to get in your system they commit crimes. Is that correct?
The only way they come in our system, they commit a crime. Yes, sir.
It's a term that sometimes we deal with, and I just want, and I mean, I'm not saying that's the case, but is there any, have you ever had any problem with any of your officers, anybody in that area with profiling that would just automatically, they see a foreign born and they would just automatically, without any provocation, stop them just to?
Absolutely not. Our officers know that, first of all, they need probable cause to make any type of vehicle stop. In high crime areas, I will tell you this, or high drug areas, and neighborhoods where having crime problems, I tell my officers, I expect them to know who lives in their area. I expect them to know what cars they drive, when they work, and if they see a strange vehicle in that area that's running around, find out who it is.
Follow up. What would that stop involve? I'm just for clarification. What would that, if you stop the car, what would the process be?
I can tell you right now.
Thank you.
All right, I've been driving along, say I stop Mr. Eddie Collins.
And probably you can stop it.
Stop Mr. Eddie Collins. Like that, Mr. Caldwell, you know, we've had a lot of break-ins or burglaries in this area. We are trying to look at strange cars that don't normally belong in the neighborhood here. You know, can you tell me, are you looking for somebody or what? You know, investigative stops, what that would be called. But now, for stopping just to be stopped because of race or anything, absolutely not.
Thank you, sir.
Any further questions? I have a couple. President Starnes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I would think that Alamance County is ideally suited for one pilot program because we're on the interstate. And my guess is the bulk of the people that are arrested on immigration charges comes from stops that are made on the interstate. Is it not?
Yes, sir. Most of, believe it or not, Burlington City probably brings in more criminal violators to the Alamance County Jail than any of the agencies there. Now, we do have some stops when they're working interdiction on the interstate, but believe it or not, the majority of the stops or arrests are made in the neighborhoods and the cities.
Well, that surprises me. I just assumed the large number of illegals that you were catching were passing through on the interstate. But what would be the top 3 or 4 reasons that a person is stopped and arrested? I mean, is it moving violations, DWIs, or I mean, what are the top 3 or 4 crimes that they've committed?
I would say DWI. We've had situations where the officer in an unmarked car going on the road and a car fly by them with their tag expired or something. Those are the type of stops that's usually made on the interstate, or erratic driving or excessive speech. And usually we don't, even then, don't know what race or gender the individual is, especially at night, tried on the interstate. And, you know, if you approach a car, and that's usually when you find out, you know, which race, gender, whatever it is. And then, usually, you don't know about no operator's license. When they can't produce a license, you stop them for no insurance on the car or expired tag or whatever. They don't have a license or identifications, you know, they come through the detention center.
One last question. Okay. Well, that's interesting that the bulk of the stops are not interstate related. So the number of illegals that you're finding in Alamance County would be comparable to the number that's found in one of the other 5 counties that's in this program that may not be on an interstate?
I think probably any of the agencies, counties that are along the interstate, has a high number of immigrants living in their counties or towns, simply because in Alamance County, I-85 and I-40, east, west, north, south, and what better place to come and settle. But we have good, I want you to understand, we have good Hispanic and citizens in our county. It's the criminal aliens that we are concerned about, and Alamance County was dubbed by the Drug Enforcement Administration as being the drug hub of southeastern United States. And to me, that was a slap, but it's the truth. That's where our interstate, if you ask me, with the majority that we've taken on as far as high or large quantities of drugs along the interstate, absolutely.
Just one follow-up, Mr. Chairman. Sheriff, you made a statement, I know you didn't mean it that way, but you said if a person has been in America and they're not bilingual, did you say, I don't want to put anything in words in your mouth, it's a red flag for you if they say that they've been here and they're not bilingual, you kind of make a statement that.
Look, that is one indicator to the ICE people that something may not be right. It don't mean that they have to speak English, but that is a indicator, not something where you just jerk them.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any further questions on the committee?